I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart. Down in my heart, I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. Wow, it's a wonderful day, and I couldn't be more excited to be here on camera with you because today is day 6. Day 6. Cheers in the audience. I need more hearts and more love today than any other day. So if you have a thumbs up or a heart and you're able to give one, today is the day because others need your love. And the question is, who needs your love the most? My name is Naomi Always Young, and I'm the creator of Positive Living Inspiration. And you are just part of the 12 Days of Hope. Help other people every day. Now, so far, we have done a number of days, and the number of days we have done has been, number 1, help yourself with optimum health. Next, we have others need your kindness and share it. Day 3, people need creative adventures. The next day, every day, intentions, create what you want. What do you want in your life, and how could you get that? Okay, day 5 was yesterday. Help seniors now, caring for your loved ones. Yes. Okay, so today we're on day 6. 6, 6, 6. I know, I'm so excited. All right, when you make comments, when you do a thumbs up, when you do a heart, any kind of interaction, I would like to know where you're from. Well, of course, your name will show up. Where you're from, why are you here today? Are you looking for hope? Because hope is a thing that we all need to have to sustain us through these really difficult times. Today's stories are so much fun and so amazing. I see Sherry's here. Good morning, Chris Aletta. You know, when we have people coming in from 14 different countries, it's hard for me to keep track. And what I see happen is that different ones of you will have your little circles run across the screen, and some of you will make comments. Today it's important you make comments because this is about others. It's not about you. It's not about me. I'm going to introduce you today to 3 amazing nonprofits. So you're all going to need to vote and pay attention. So there's going to be a scale of 1 to 5. When I tell you the story about each one, so we have here Free Wheelchair Mission, Mending Kids, and Triumph Foundation. When I finish telling you the story on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to ask you to put in comments your score. And it's about you. It's just for me to have interest. And the interest is about if you were able to give a donation on a scale of 1 to 5, would you definitely give one? Would you maybe give one? Or that's not something that interests you? Because we know that donating to causes that make a difference that you feel is very important because that's sustainable. And every organization needs sustainable income, just like we need for food and housing and all that, right? I'm hiding my shirt. Oops. I'm hiding it because it's not my favorite, but it's the one that I'm most passionate about. It is my favorite, but anyway. All right, so starting out, we're going to start out with the Free Wheelchair Mission. So in 2000, March, I was driving my daughter to her tryouts for a high school of the arts in Los Angeles. And it was raining, and my car hydroplaned 3 times, went in circles, and smashed against the side of the road. We were okay. Everything flew around in the car. It was very scary, but we were okay. And then I got out of my car because the CHP said to, and I was standing in the emergency parking, 3 of us, and another car came, smashed the cop car, hit all 3 of us, and we all 3 got damaged. I was thrown up in the air and down the road, 8 feet up and 8 feet down. When I landed, all I could think about, because I lost consciousness for a few minutes, is where's my shoe? And I turned my head and I looked, and it was way back there behind the cop car. I didn't know that I had a concussion. I didn't know my hand, this whole joint was damaged. I didn't know I had a broken leg right at the knee joint. I didn't know any of that. All I knew, I needed my shoe. And then secondly, where's my daughter? It took me 2.5 years to recover from that accident. And so I got very sensitive to things. And I was in a wheelchair for the first, 6 weeks. It takes time to recover. And while I was in the wheelchair, I did a number of things that are way different today because they take care of you better. But I found out what it was like to live in a wheelchair. And it broke my heart. So I'm going to show you what free wheelchair admission does. I'm going to share my screen. Wheelchair generation number 1 is all about the regular chair you'd have in the back room. The regular chair that we have in the United States. And you see it's got bicycle tires, and then the front's got regular wheelchair tires. And they need these to go in all different places. Okay, number 2. This is built in 2009. It's much improved. It's got metal. It's got a little bit of an adjustment here. And you see down in the front, it's got a number of screws, so it could be for a shorter or a longer person. Generation number 3 came out in 2011, and it's 26 inches. It's much more sturdy. It's much more adjustable. It's got better padding. And this is the current one. This is free wheelchair admission's story. Looks like it already ran while we were playing around. Okay, here we go.
There's a very unique movement in the work we do. It is a movement of transformation, and that happens when we give this person this chair. And you put them in the wheelchair the first time, and suddenly this future opens. And they can start to think about, gee, maybe I can get to school, maybe I can get a job, maybe I can visit some friends who used to visit me, but they're not coming anymore. And then they get outside and they see people seeing them eye to eye. This is such a powerful thing, and this is what we do. This is what we want to do and keep doing. This is that transformational movement of giving someone a chair. And now, in the midst of a worldwide pandemic, while things have been really tough here in the United States, they've been devastating in developing countries that we serve. In times like these, people living with disabilities are often the hardest hit in terms of getting food and supplies, receiving medical care, and so on. Thankfully, not only have our wheelchairs been lifesavers during this pandemic, helping people to get medical care, but for years now, we have been providing things like masks, gloves, mobility aids, and other medical supplies. All these things have been so critical to the caregivers serving these communities, especially during disasters and emergencies. My education allowed me to look at problems differently than a lot of people do when they develop a new concept, new product. And that was really what motivated me to start this whole thing in the beginning. We need a more efficient, effective solution to a problem that's huge. We like to think holistically about our mission, and it starts from the engineering of the wheelchair, and it goes all the way to the emotional well-being of the recipient, the joy it brings to the family and to the community. It goes to the point of making the world a better place. This extraordinary ripple effect that we see, that how this gift has not only transformed the person's life who got the chair, but the family members, the caregivers, the whole community. Maybe now the mother can go and get a job because she doesn't need to stay home and take care of her child all day. Right now, more than ever, those living with disabilities in developing countries urgently need our support. With your help, we can change lives, one person at a time. Together, we can provide the transforming gift of mobility. Together, we can make this world a better place.
Wow, is that beautiful? So on a scale of 1 to 5, if you think that you would like to support free wheelchair admission, not that you need to, I'm just asking your opinion. This is a little child, like 7 years old, but look how long his legs are. A tremendous, tremendous ability to help other people. And I was so blessed. Okay, charity number 2 is Mending Kids. And Mending Kids is an organization that I came in love with. And it started because Seroptimus asked me to do some kind of project about hearts. And I heard that Mending Kids was helping children with heart surgery. And I was surprised. So I went out to visit them here in where I live in my valley. They had a home in a state that was letting them live there. There were 17 children there and their parents from all over the world. They were from 7 different countries. And in the day that we decided to do a dinner for them for Thanksgiving, it was 2009. And in the door walks a little girl. And when I hugged her, I felt her back really crooked. And my mind goes, oh, I can like this one. She's not a heart patient. I was really against hanging out with heart patients because I was one for 15 years, the first 15 years of my life. And I don't want to be around hospitals or doctors or heart patients. It's too painful. Well, it turns out the reason her back was so bent is because when she went for the pre-op, her left lung was collapsed and her heart was enlarged and it was pushing out her back. So that whole thing was going on. So they said, we have to do open heart surgery. But they didn't really say that to me. They just said, oh, we're going to do heart surgery for her. And they asked me to come into the hospital on January 1st, 2010 to visit her. And oh, yes, I love her. She's from Ecuador. I speak Spanish. It's going to be great. I walk into the ICU room and I froze because in the bed was this little girl looking just like me, only with dark hair. And for 45 minutes, I asked the nurses questions. I wept, and thank God she was asleep. She didn't hear all that. And when I walked out of the room, I'd been transformed from the inside out because it's time for me to pay it forward. And so my goal is to save children by providing heart surgery through Mending Kids services. And Mending Kids services are provided by medical teams that go out and do that. So let me show you. I'm going to share my screen. Again, I'm going to show you who they are and what they do.
I'm Isabel Fox, and I am the Executive Director for Mending Kids. Mending Kids is an organization that provides life-changing and life-saving surgeries to underserved children all over the world, including right here in the United States. None of this would be possible without the dedicated service and commitment of our volunteer medical teams, non-medical volunteers, corporate sponsors, donors, and everyday champions of children who take on the task to save them. Our surgical teams perform procedures that range anywhere from open heart surgeries, orthopedic, plastics and burns, colorectal, general, interventional cardiology to ear, nose, throat surgeries. Many travel abroad, giving up vacations and time with their own families to train local doctors to give them the skills that they need to take care of their own. Many open their homes to receive brave young patients while they are cared for in U.S. hospitals. And many volunteer countless and thankless hours to make sure that this happens. From its inception, which was bringing one child from abroad to receive life-saving procedures in the United States, Mending Kids has now grown to helping nearly 4,500 children from 65 countries. Anytime you impact the health of a child for the better, you don't only change that child's life for the better. You strengthen the family and its community. It opens up a future of opportunities that was unavailable until then. As we embark on our 15th year of service, embrace sustainability, innovation, the future and its possibilities, we say thank you. Thank you for keeping our kids in your thoughts and for making their lives matter. Together, we are Mending Kids.
Isn't that precious? So Mending Kids. Mending Kids. So on a scale of 1 to 5, if you had all the money in the world and you could save a child's life, would you give them a 5? Or is this something not so interesting? Or is it something you're not interested in at all? Let me know in the chat. And also, if you have a chance to do a thumbs up or a heart Da-dun, 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 da-dun. That's more fun for me to see that you're engaged and you're having fun. Our third organization today is called Triumph. And I'm going to share my screen. Well, first I'm going to tell you the story. Okay, so I was in a Chamber of Commerce meeting in my own hometown, and we were going around the tables, and everyone says their name and their business and one little sentence about what they do. And we heard a voice, and I was actually near the table where I heard the voice, and the voice said, "My name is Andrew Skinner. I'm with Triumph Foundation. We help those who become paralyzed in accidents, paraplegics and quadriplegics." And then a voice shouted, another voice from the other side of the room, "Please stand up, we can't see you." And Andrew was in a wheelchair because he'd been in a snowboarding accident and he was paralyzed. So this is the story of a local organization. I'm going to share my screen. And what this organization does is serves the Southern California paralysis community. Due to pandemic restrictions, many people are facing paralysis and recovery in total isolation from family and friends. Having been in a wheelchair, having attempted to go places in the days that I was in the wheelchair, 2000, which is almost 21 years ago, I was driving my car, my wheelchair's in the back, so I stopped to get gas. I think I put enough space between the car and the gas pump to put my wheelchair in there to do the gas, and I didn't. So after I was already in my wheelchair and over there, I had to put my wheelchair back in the car, back the car up, move it over, put it in the right place, get out of my car, get my wheelchair, and you have to crawl along the side of the car. It's very hard. And get my wheelchair and put gas in my car. That alone is exhausting. And you say, oh, it only took you 40 minutes. I know. So wheelchairs are really, really important. So this is a story that CanVC put out, a very short one about what wheelchairs, what Triumph Foundation does for people who are paralyzed. Oh, it's not very loud, is it? Okay, let's see if I can get it louder. Maybe use a wheelchair, and normally at school they don't really get to play with the other kids, and then today all the kids jump in a wheelchair and he's the one doing circles around them. The Wheelchair Sports Festival is put on by the Triumph Foundation. Its mission is to help people with spinal cord injuries to keep moving forward. It is the end of an era. Okay, so that's the story of Triumph Foundation. And Andrew Skinner does these amazing parties at Christmas time where he delivers gifts, but he also, right after the accident, within it, not right really literally after, but within a month or so when the people are recovering, he has a team that visits 9 different hospitals. He has adaptive sports. He has events that you can go to, like you saw in that video, where I was the one in a wheelchair and I hadn't used one in 17 years. And I was attempting to go around in circles, and you get a chance to understand what it could be like if you were paralyzed. So on a scale of 5, if 5 is the one that most speaks to your heart of the 3 that we've talked about today for Triumph, then right now, give me a 5. If it's not so interesting, but you are sympathetic towards it, give me a 3. And if it's not something you want, any number you want, but I'm really interested in what you would do to support Triumph Foundation, which is for paralysis community, Mending Kids, which is for all kinds of birth defects that kids have, and Free Wheelchair Mission, which provides wheelchairs for those who are literally crawling across their community. So give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, let me know where you're from, let me know why you're here, anything I can do to serve you, because I want you to love yourself, hug yourself, and make a smile to go away. If you love yourself, hug yourself and make a smile to go away, I will be so happy. And I'm going to show you my final screen, which I found yesterday, which is My Heart Back to You. This is Naomi, always young, creator of positive living inspiration. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much.